Hello friends, I'm Tim WIldsmith, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at the new King James Version Sovereign Collection from Thomas Nelson. Okay, the Sovereign Collection is a new set of Bibles from Thomas Nelson that's initially coming to us in this personal size reference edition in the King James Version. Really beautiful Bible. The whole idea of the Sovereign Collection is that it's the design is kind of a nod to the history and the legacy of the King James Bible, which has obviously been around since 1611. It's still one of the most popular translations of the Bible in the world today, and it really does. If you've read any Bible history, which I'm kind of a geek for stuff like that, the KJV is just so important in the history of the Bible. And so a Bible like this is meant to honor that history, to honor that legacy. It's done really well. Thomas Nelson just makes great Bibles. So whether you're just interested in finding a King James Bible or you're specifically here to check out the Sovereign Collection, I'm glad you're here watching this video. Definitely hit that like button for me and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more great Bible content like this. So now we're going to dive into it. This is the King James Version Sovereign Collection from Thomas Nelson. Okay, quick look at the box. I love the look of this. Very classy, which is what they're going for with this. Black and gold, Sovereign Collection, King James, personal size edition. This is the black genuine leather. This is a clamshell box. Looks really sharp all the way around. There you have all the information on the back. And there's the Bible itself. So this is the genuine leather edition. It only comes in black and genuine leather. There's also a black leather soft edition. It has a similar look and feel to this one, but it's just leather soft instead of genuine leather. There's a brown leather soft edition that has a slightly different outside aesthetic, and then a purple one that's leather soft as well that has like a imprinted cover design on the cover. But there you can see Holy Bible, really nice pebbly leather cover. It's very soft and floppy. It's got a perimeter stitch, has a couple of ribbons, a gold one and a black one. It's got raised spine hubs there you see, Holy Bible, King James Version, and then you see again the design element. This is kind of that Sovereign Collection vibe, is all these different like gold designs on the side. It just kind of says, hey, we're giving a nod to the history and the tradition of the King James Bible. Looks really good on the outside. This genuine leather edition is edge-lined, and it's got a sewn binding. The leather soft editions are paste down liners. I actually noticed that Randy from Bible Buying Guide said he prefers the paste down liners on this Bible because of the size and how big it is, and just when it's open flat and things like that. And people ask that a lot, just about paste down versus edge lined. And in theory, an edge lined binding is more expensive to produce, and it's what you see on a lot of the higher premium quality Bibles. But if you get a good paste down liner that's done well, which a lot of these manufacturers and publishers do, it's going to hold up well. And again, it's kind of personal preference. I know some people would say, no, it's not. It's this is always better. Well, not always. It's kind of what you want to use it for, and as long as it's done well, it's gonna work. So. So that's the aesthetic look of the Bible. The size is 5 1/4 inches wide by 8 1/2 inches tall, and it's 1 3/4 inch thick. So you might have noticed this is called a personal size Bible, and I kind of chuckled to myself when I opened the box and saw how big it was, because to me, personal size is less than 8 inches tall, less than 5 inches wide. It's not this thick. So this seems a little bit bigger to me than that. It's very similar. It's not to say I don't like it. It's very similar. It's almost identical in shape to this Bible, which is one of my favorites, the NKJV single column reference edition that they did for the Thomas Nelson Premier Collection. Love this Bible. If you haven't watched my video of that, wink, wink, you should go do it. This one's not called personal size, and they're basically the same size. So just know that as you're looking at this Bible, this is the only size that it comes in currently, and it's kind of I would call a mid-size Bible. So getting on the inside, you have the title pages, and then you get the copyright page. So there you see the information there. It's printed in China. It is the KJV Comfort Print typeface designed by 2K Denmark, which I really like the looks of. Then you get to the contents, the preface to the translation, short one there, the Old Testament, and then you get into Genesis. So you see this kind of design on the page. It kind of carries over this like very, very classic, traditional look. You do get a book introduction at the beginning of every book of this Bible, which I like, and then you see the drop caps there. So the drop cap at the beginning of the book introduction, the drop cap at the beginning of every chapter of this book, you're going to see these drop caps, which are about the size of 4 lines of text, and they're really beautifully designed. Let me get this up here so you can see it. Just very nice. Again, this is what it makes sense with the KJV. It's just a classic, very, very beautiful design there. I like the red accent on the drop cap as well as on the page. You get the chapter titles, the section headings, the verse numbers. So it's a verse-by-verse Bible everywhere except for Psalms and Proverbs, where it goes, it's verse-by-verse everywhere. It's a 2-column text everywhere except for Psalms and Proverbs, where you go to this more poetic type setting, which is kind of it's a classic traditional way of setting up Psalms and Proverbs. You also get a little red line here at the bottom of the page, which separates the main text from the cross-references and the translation notes. So you get cross-references and translation notes all together here at the bottom of the page. Again, just pull this up here, you can see it. It is a 9.5 point font, line matched on 36 GSM paper. Very comfortable to read. I think these comfort print fonts read a little bit bigger than the number actually implies, so it's really comfortable to read. The paper is opaque. You see some of that red showing through just a little bit, but it's not you're not fighting with this Bible. That's what I'd say is this Sovereign Collection Personal Reference Edition is just straightforward, simple. It's got these nice little design flourishes that kind of are a nod to the history of the KJV, but it's really comfortable to read. It looks good. I mean, you may think to yourself, and several people have commented about this, that it has a lot of similarities with the Schuyler KJV Canterbury, just because they also use a drop cap like this. There's some similarities with how the page is laid out. But that's a very traditional kind of old school format for designing a KJV Bible. It's kind of a nod to the history and the tradition. And again, these are made in China. They're more affordable. They're a little bit less expensive. They're a lot less expensive than some of the Schuyler stuff. And so if you want to get into a Bible that has this look and feel for a good price point, this is a good way to do it. So you get into the New Testament, you see you get the red letter text for the words of Christ. I like the color of that. Bolded verse numbers, so it kind of sets those apart even when the text is still red. Just looks great, feels great. Again, book introductions, cross-reference, textual notes. At the back of the Bible, let me get you back here, you get a few different little tables. There is the miracles of Jesus, an index there, the parables of Jesus, a one-year reading plan across 2 pages so you can do a read through the Bible, and then a concordance. This is great because it's just 2 columns, so they didn't really shrink the font down. You get into a concordance in many Bibles, and it's like this tiny little font on 3 or 4 columns, and it's so impossible to read. This one's great. They use that red throughout it. They use these drop caps for the titles. I mean, it's just really great. So, well designed as far as the concordance goes. And then in the very back of the Bible, after the concordance, you get a standard set of Thomas Nelson's glossy Bible maps. My one recommendation for improving this Bible would be to take these maps, put them on a better paper, and give them a look and a feel that kind of is a nod to the classic design that they're going for. So maybe find some vintage maps or something like that, or have some new ones created that kind of match the look in here, because it's really not till you get the back of the Bible that you're like, oh, this is a modern Bible, because it's got this glossy Bible paper and stuff on it. But overall, what you're getting is a modern, brand new Bible that has a great typeface, a good modern design, but it's got these little embellishments and these flourishes that are a nod to the tradition and the history of the King James Bible. So there you have it. It's the Sovereign Collection, King James Version from Thomas Nelson. I would love to know what you think, so leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think about this one. Definitely check out BibleReviewBlog.com, where I have a full write-up of the Sovereign Collection, and I've got links to where you can purchase the Bible, pricing information, all that stuff. I'll also put that here in the description of the video. Definitely check out Bible Review Blog on Instagram and Facebook. Got some great community there where we're talking about the Bible and sharing with one another, which is really awesome. And before you go, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I've got some more videos coming out very soon that you don't want to miss. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.